Get full access to RFR only on Patreon. Become a member of the RFR Patreon community to get more Rebel Force Radio. Bonus shows and content are available right now only at patreon.com/Rebel Force Radio.
Rebel force has penetrated the shield and landed on Endor.
This is where the fun begins.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
This is Rebel Force Radio.
Your source for the Force.
Star Wars news and commentary.
With Jason Swank and Jimmy Mack.
I've seen Star Wars 500 times. Star Wars #1!
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
Now it's time for Rebel Force Radio.
We would be honored if you would join us.
All right, the final trailer. At least that's how it's been billed since the announcement that we were going to get one last look at Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, before the big release on December 20th, which we all know, by the way, is actually December 19th. Because many of us were hitting refresh at Cinemark.com, Fandango.com, and all the various movie ticket sellers in the hours leading up to the trailer. And guess what? If you were there early, you lucked out. You were able to get tickets for The Rise of Skywalker. You didn't have to wait till after that trailer debuted. You were able to get them somewhere around 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, I believe, is when I got my text from Chris from Cleveland, followed by another guy you all know who's joining me here tonight. My good friend and yours from Chicago, Jimmy Mack.
Hey, Jason. Hey, Star Wars fans. Yeah, we just got hit by this new trailer. I've only seen it twice, but I'm looking forward to hearing some of the conversation it's going to generate. We want to know, what'd you think about it? Were there any, oh my God, did you see that moment? Did you get that? Mm-hmm. Or is it just like, this is more of the same? We'd like to know. Give us a call right now, 708-866-1737. That's 708-866-1RFR. And get on the air here with us and contribute to the conversation.
All right. Well, let's just start right now. We've got Steve. He's in his Jetta, I guess. We got Steve from Clinton, New Jersey. Go ahead, Steve. You're on with Rebel Force Radio. Hello, hello.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
Steve.
What are you doing tonight?
Yeah, that's supposed to say Jedi, but I guess I do own a Jetta. But
I do too. I do too. Yeah. All right. So you're Steve. You are from, where are you from, Steve? You're in Clinton, New Jersey, and you want to talk about the Jedi, not the Jetta?
No, I think talking about my Jetta would be pretty boring to everyone listening to the show right now.
That's not what people are listening for.
My first thought is just Luke's one line about the Jedi's destiny confronting fear just filled me with like a lot of warm feels and sort of inspiration. And that just gives me big positive thoughts for the movie already, even though it's just one line that we're hearing from Luke Skywalker.
I like you pointed that line out because that was one that stuck out at me because it felt very Lucasian to me. That about the Jedi confronting fear and that being part of the destiny of every Jedi. We weren't hearing things like that in Episode 8. We were hearing more things about, learn from failure. That's what we were hearing. Not so much about, fear, destiny, things like that. Very different tone. Jim, did you get the same kind of vibe from that particular line of dialogue? Not a lot of dialogue in this, that's for sure.
No, not at all. What was that line again? What did Luke say?
Steve, do you have the quote?
I believe it's the Jedi's destiny to confront fear.
Yes.
Right. That's a good one. Yeah, right. So the first thing you're thinking of is, dude, what were you doing on that island then? That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Interesting to hear some fresh Luke dialogue. I don't know. It does seem like he's taking a more optimistic approach to applying the lessons of the Jedi into the fresh war that's in front of him. But I mean, I guess he evolved to that point by the end of The Last Jedi. We just never got any final thoughts from him.
Yeah.
Remember when we used to do the round tables and we used to do final thoughts? I wish someone gave Luke Skywalker some damn final thoughts at the end of The Last Jedi.
How about J.J. Abrams put Luke Skywalker in one of his trailers? How about that?
Yeah.
Like actually put him in the trailer.
Okay.
Because he was the Invisible Man in Episode 7, and here he is at 9. I mean, we're hearing him.
Yeah.
But
how will he appear in the film? That is the question. How do you think he'll appear? Is our caller still on?
Yeah, Steve, how do you think he's going to appear? Is he going to be a blue glowy?
His voice had kind of an echoing quality to it, so it almost feels like he'll be a Force spirit. And then the really cool thing is that Leia's voice had the same echoing effect right after it, so I'm wondering if she'll be a Force ghost somehow at the end.
Oh, about Leia, about how she sort of finished his line for him?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a possibility. I mean, I think that we're probably going to see, and I don't know, but I would imagine we're going to see some big family reunion of Jedi spirits at the end of this thing. I think that's, when we heard from Kevin Smith a couple months ago about the final sequence, the final scene, the final shot, whatever it was, I think that may have been it. That's where I think they're heading. I think this is going to be a big homage to Return of the Jedi at the very end, except it's going to be like, on steroids. Many, many more glowies. I think we're going to get a Qui-Gon. I think we're going to have, obviously, Leia, Luke, Anakin, Obi-Wan, Yoda. Maybe even crazy old Mace Windu be knocking around there in the netherworld.
The thing is, and I have a little road bump to present to you, and it's something that's been sort of a topical bit of conversation lately, is American films performing in China. And in the past, it has been reported that Chinese censors have banned or edited films from America that contained ghosts and supernatural events or elements. And I think that with the pressure that we've been reading about that Hollywood believes it's under to kowtow to Chinese censorship, that they will avoid having a ghost sequence in The Rise of Skywalker. As a matter of fact, I believe that's why Yoda was depicted as less than transparent in The Last Jedi. I mean, that could be a controversial thing to talk about.
Is it really? I mean, that'd be pretty sad if it was. Is that controversial?
Well, here we are, and we're talking about it. So, but somebody will use it against us. But regardless of the fact, there was this movie by Guillermo del Toro called Crimson Peak, and it came out in 2015. And I was just reading about it the other day, how it may have been banned from China due to the fact that it featured ghosts and supernatural elements. So, yeah, I mean, that could be something that is coming into play, unfortunately, with the way that...
well, that would be a pretty sad
Disney
day.
Especially.
Yeah, that would be a pretty sad day if we got a watered down... ghostless, Jedi spiritless film just because, they want to chase the international box office, whatever. Who knows if that's true, but it's something we'll definitely keep our eye on. Steve, thanks for calling, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for hanging with us. We got another Jeddah caller. We've got, thank you, man.
Get out of here. I think they mean they're from Jeddah.
Yeah,
not that they're driving.
No, I think they're looking. They're looking to talk about Jedis, not Jeddas. This is Johnny. Johnny from Rochester. Hey, Johnny.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. First time caller here. You guys are awesome. Love the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So, yeah, you guys are great. So ever since I was like a little kid and I saw Return of the Jedi and having Luke, just like solo walk right up to Jabba's palace, and the first thing he does is like force choke the Gamorrean guards. I was like, holy shit, that's badass. Like, I love the Jedi that sort of walks the line between light and dark. So when we finally got to The Last Jedi, and I know it's a topic of contention, but seeing Kylo Ren sort of say like the Sith is like are bad and the Jedi are bad, we got to kind of bury like both of them, and it's sort of like the real balance is living in between them. I've been like really hoping for like a great Jedi or somebody with that mentality. So then in the new trailer, you see in Last Jedi, like I loved the moment, like the throne room like fight was like just awesome for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then now seeing him with his helmet back on, but sort of fighting with Rey, they just both turn and like destroy. What
was that thing that they? Yeah, I was going to rewind that. It was a statue or something that they destroyed. It was
like
together.
A bust of something.
Yeah.
What I thought was
the
even
idea
more
of like them.
Is look at that environment they're in. They're in you could tell it's an Imperial environment, but it's bright white, and that's something we've never seen before. I found myself freeze framing it just to look at the set they were on as they were swinging at that bust. You have to assume it's Palpatine, right? They're going into his throne room, and he has little tributes to himself along the way. And these two kind of have a field day vandalizing his collection.
You think that's what it is?
Well, that's what I guess. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to try to find this. I'm going to try to find this moment here while you and Johnny chat.
But Johnny, if you looked around in that sequence where they were swinging the saber at that bust, it's this really bright white environment, but I can tell it's Imperial because it has the pill-shaped lighting fixtures in the wall. Those pill-shaped lighting fixtures are strictly Imperial.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's a very bright, like you say, Jim. It's a very bright set. It's really impossible to see what it is because when they cut to it, it's already breaking apart. But
right, you can't really. I did try to identify that thing. It looked like there was this old show. It used to be on Chicago TV. It was a children's show called Giggle Snort Hotel, and they had a character named Blob, and the Blob was just this table with a big glob of clay on it. And they would the glob would be like, rah, 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 and they would make expressions on him, on his face. And look it up. It's online. Look it up on Google. It was the glob.
All right. Well, we've got some speculation showing up for those in the chat. They're saying that it's not Imperial. They're saying that they're actually on Cloud City.
No, because of the pill-shaped lighting fixtures. It did echo Cloud City. I do not deny that aesthetic is there. And true, we are dealing 30-something years in the future from Empire Strikes Back, and we know what happened in that film. The Empire took over Cloud City. So it's possible that they could have added some of their own little aesthetic value and feng shui to the place. And it does look like Cloud City. Look at that thing to the right. Is that a window? Are we looking at buildings outside, or is that just some structure within the room itself?
What?
I can't even tell.
I can't tell either. I think that it's actually a structure. I don't think it's a window. Yeah. But there's some folks saying that now that's clearly a statue, or that's clearly something of some sort of effigy of Darth Vader. They're feeling that top piece could be the top of a helmet.
Sure.
Something like that.
Yeah, I could see that. Or just maybe some ancient Sith mucky muck who Palpatine sucks on the teat of.
Well, Steve, let's. You were talking about. All right, so the image of Luke coming into Jabba's palace and kind of opening that can and walking the line, that had a big impact on you. I relate to you. It did as me as well, because that was my first cinematic Star Wars experience, and that's when Luke became my hero in that moment, choking out the Gamorrean guard. So you're saying ever since then you were kind of hoping for this sort of gray Jedi, the one that sort of wields the best of both the light and the dark. Do you think that it's is it Rey, is it Kylo, or is it the coming together of the two of them in this movie, you think?
Oh, geez. Well, it's tough with the way Last Jedi ended, because it didn't really make sense. Like, the way he was talking was like, we got to bury the past, kill it if we have to, and like make this new future. And then since it didn't work out with Rey, he's just like, all right, screw it, I'm going to be the supreme leader, right? And it just didn't really like make sense to his argument. So then now, I don't know if they're like retconning that or whatever, but like, I would like the idea of like them balancing each other out. I'm not saying like in a relationship, like couple shit, like just having them sort of just working together and you know, for like a cause, whether they're like hunting down relics or whatever it is. And I just like, I've always liked that idea. And I you know, Luke, like Return of the Jedi Luke has been my favorite because of him being sort of like somber and down. And I know Jimmy is like said he's like a fatalist at that point. And I do kind of like that, you know. So I'm just kind of hoping that it goes that way.
Yeah.
So it doesn't go completely light side and
all right,
like goody two shoe monk status, you know.
All right. Well, overall, your thoughts about the trailer? What you saw, what you didn't see? Are you satisfied? Are you more excited, less excited, or the same going into December 20th?
I am absolutely more excited just because I didn't want the trailer to give away, like trailers give away so much nowadays. And I know they have like, they throw like the red herrings out there with like the dark Rey and like being like, if that was such a big plot point in the movie, then why would they show that to us? You know?
Right.
So
right.
I like the idea that it felt a little bit reserved. It seemed to like expand upon other scenes that we already had seen. But I like that. I like, you know, there was like you know, they limit the dialogue. And, I'm totally excited.
I like what you say there. I picked up on that. To me, I felt like they were holding back. I really felt like they were using a lot of restraint, and we're hearing rumors of a lot of reshoots, a lot of re-edits, last-minute changes. So this could have been a very safe trailer in a sense that they know that there's a lot of time between now and December 20th when it comes to making these kinds of edits and changes. So maybe they didn't want to, you know, paint themselves in too much of a corner. Hey, Johnny, thank you so much for calling. Appreciate it, man. You're my kind of guy. Make sure that you stay in touch. Keep listening. Let's go to Gene from Los Angeles calling about the new Star Wars trailer. Hello, Gene.
Hey, Jimmy and Jason. What's up, guys? First-time caller, long-time listener. Thank you so much for the show, I got to say. Definitely giving some more depth to my favorite intellectual property. So how are you guys doing tonight?
Doing great. Thanks for calling. So thoughts about the trailer?
Yeah. Incredible. I mean, I got to say, there's a few things that stood out to me. I mean, of course, the whole thing was visually stunning. I like the way that they kind of... I think they stayed away from red on purpose to kind of stay away from the Last Jedi vibes.
You know what? You're right. Green. Not a lot of red in this.
Yeah, I think they did that on purpose, and I'm personally a bigger fan of blue and green, so that kind of was a good thing for me. But what stood out to me was I definitely have to say, what was that red beam? Are we going to get like another kind of Star Killer base going on? Because that was one scene that kind of intrigued me. There was a kind of Star Killer like beam coming down and destroying a planet or something.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either. Whenabouts was that?
Oh gosh, guys, I'm actually I wasn't watching right now, but I think it's in there. There's definitely some kind of scene where a red beam comes down from onto a planet or onto like some kind of base perhaps, and definitely causes some damage. So I'm like, oh, are we going to get another Star Killer kind of base or some?
Well, and you were just saying that there's not a lot of red, and you're like, you know what stuck out of me? big red beam that came down.
Maybe that's the one tribute to Ryan. You know what I mean? Maybe
That's right. It's the rise of Ryan Johnson.
We've seen a lot of red.
Exactly.
A lot of red, almost as if this forest is on fire in the previous trailer. When Kylo is throwing down, he close arms a guy and throws him down with his saber arm.
Yeah.
And you look around and you can see it appears that forest environment is burning red flame. So maybe that's what we're looking at. I'm actually looking at the trailer again here just to try to catch where this red beam of yours is.
I'm sorry, I didn't remember exactly where it is.
Write down the time code, man. Come on.
I know, seriously.
Go on, Gene.
Prepared. What am I doing here? I'm an amateur.
So you're wondering if there's going to be a super weapon? Is the thought? You saw evidence of maybe something like that?
I hope not.
Yeah,
I hope not.
Yeah.
Because I definitely, I think we've gotten enough of that, and I don't mind touching on the past. And like Force Awakens, I love to death. Last Jedi, I walked out of the movie theater, and the security guard asked me if I was all right. From the look on my face, because it confused me so much. So
you needed oxygen.
So now I'm hoping everything ties together.
Yeah.
I
do too.
Yeah, that was really good. And then I want to go ahead.
Yeah, no, I said I'm hoping it all ties together as well. We're seeing a lot of folks in the chat saying that they're not seeing the threads being connected, that it feels very disconnected. They're not sure what they saw.
Yeah. Well, without Snoke being answered and without the Knights of Ren being answered, I think we're definitely going to get that. And so, those are definitely things that will be touched on. I hope they're just not, little 5-second blurbs. Oh yeah, Snoke was this, and then they go away from him. So that was cool. And then I really want to know what 3PO's sacrifice is going to be. Because it seems like he was saying his little final goodbyes there. That
definitely was
from
definitely
the trailer,
was, and I have to tell you, I don't want to be a grouch about this, but for 3PO to look around at a group of people that we saw him hardly spend any screen time with at all over the last two films, it didn't really hit me as emotional. You know what it kind of felt like was in the second JJ Star Trek movie when you had the big goodbye between Kirk and Spock when they were kind of echoing back Wrath of Khan. I'm watching that. It feels very hollow. That's not Shatner and Nimoy. Those guys didn't earn that moment. And frankly, I don't really feel that 3PO, that new crew, that foursome, I don't think they've earned that moment with 3PO, frankly.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Chewie and R2 are there.
Yeah, well, you know what? He should have been looking down at R2 and up at Chewie.
Well, it's funny. At the end of that scene, Chewie is the last one that gives them a little roar, as an acknowledgement. So at least I think he said, because Chewie's probably spent the most time with him. He put them back together again. So that's
now with Chewie, I totally get it. But he's looking around, and Poe has the leading line. 3PO. What are you doing?
True.
Oh, I'm looking at my friends.
Exactly.
Spent exactly 2.5 minutes with in the last.
He was closer to the power droid in the Sandcrawler in episode 4.
He was. Gene, thanks for calling. Appreciate it, man. Let's see. Oh, Blake. He says he's 8 years old. He's up awfully late, so we better talk to Blake. Hey, Blake. Are you still with us?
Hey.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got some theories about Star Wars Episode 9?
Yeah.
All right. Can you lay one on us?
Yeah. I think Kylo and Palpatine are gonna probably work together sometimes during the movie. And then Rey and Kylo are gonna work together some to fight Palpatine back.
Okay, so you're thinking you got Kylo and Palpatine. They're going to team up, and then at some point maybe Palpatine might make Kylo mad, and then he's going to get with Rey, and then they're both going to go and take on Palpatine. Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Who's going to win?
I think it's gonna probably be that one's a tough question.
Yeah, that's what we do on Rebel Force Radio. We ask the tough questions. Let me ask you this, Blake. Blake, what's your favorite Star Wars character? Who is?
Darth Vader.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Perfect answer.
And
what do you like about Darth Vader so much?
I like about he always uses his red lightsaber. He likes to use the Force a lot and likes to choke all the other people.
That's right.
He does his scary eye look in Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
He's very
He
scary.
doesn't put up with nonsense from anyone, does he? Sometimes I wish I was Darth Vader when I'm talking to Swank every week.
I know he does.
Nonsense I have to put up with from him. Well, thanks a lot for calling, buddy, and thanks for keeping your sentences nice and short so Jason could follow along.
Anything else that you want us to know about episode 9?
No.
Well, thanks for calling, and thanks for listening to Rebel Force Radio. We appreciate it. All right, buddy. All right.
I was waiting for the Baba Booey, Booey. But it didn't happen.
All right.
It would
Well,
be an
thanks.
honor if it did.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Blake, thanks, buddy. Now we're on to Scott. Scott's in Northbrook, Illinois. Your neck of the woods, Jim. Do you know this guy?
Scott from Northbrook. Do I know you, Scott?
Northbrook.
Is that what he said?
Suburbs in Algonquin.
Oh, okay.
Well, this does the auto screen, so who knows if that's accurate.
Danny Bonaducci used to have a house up in Algonquin, and me and Billy Mack would ride up there and have a few drinks with Bonaducci, and then we'd go in his backyard, put on some boxing headgear and some gloves, and start punching the crap out of each other. Oh, those were the days.
Scott, you didn't call to talk about Bonaducci. You wanted to talk about episode 9, right?
Right.
All right. What do you got for us?
So the Emperor is back.
Yeah.
And what I want to know is if there's Star Destroyers coming out of the ocean, who's piloting all these ships?
The Star Destroyers coming out of the ocean, that was wild. That was wild. Right. Who's piloting it? Now, this is when Palpatine is talking about how long he has waited. That's a key moment in this trailer, and probably I would suggest maybe the only real revelatory moment that we see here.
It was definitely a moment that stuck out with me after seeing the trailer for the first time. I turned around to my family who was watching it with me, and I have to admit there was nothing that was really a, oh my God, did you see that moment in this trailer for me. I didn't experience that. However, I was stunned by a lot of the things I saw in a good way, and when that Star Destroyer comes up out of the ocean, that's amazing. I love that. So obviously Palpatine has been hiding out somewhere with Star Destroyers in the ocean. Maybe they went down there with the remains of the Death Star, and the Star Destroyers went down in there to retrieve artifacts or just hide out or something. Obviously, a spacefaring vessel like that could be and should be waterproof. What's that now?
Well, I'm thinking, what if, like, who's operating all those ships? Does he have, like, a clone army again, or does he have, like, droids? Or is he using the Force? Is he using the Force to pilot all those ships himself?
We'll find out in December.
Well, that would be wild. That would be wild. No, I don't think. I think that he has a
Moof Milker in the chat says the new Porg Empire is probably operating the ships. So, spoiler. That's a good one. Thank you, Porg.
Yeah. Others are saying that that's not an ocean, that it's ice. That those that ship is busting through ice. Yeah, either way, if there's ice, there's water. So, yeah. As far as who's piloting, I think that the idea that he has this these folks in, I don't want to say hibernation as in like carbonite, but I think that he's got a contingency of loyalists that were waiting for a key moment. Here's a crazy theory. What if they were clones? Mm-hmm. What if they were clones? I mean, he was able to program clones and enabled them to flip a switch and put his plan into motion with Order 66. Maybe this is, Order 96. Who knows?
They all end in 6.
Well, of course they have to. What do you think, Scott?
Well, I don't know. And I want to go back to what you were saying about, like, there wasn't a moment that made you, like, stand up out of your seat. For me, it was right after that moment when they showed the Falcon come down, and there's just this parade of probably ally ships behind the Falcon. That was the moment I got out of my couch when that happened.
A great moment, but it wasn't. That moment appeared in brief teasers for the trailer, promotional teasers that launched on social media today. So I had already seen that by the time the trailer rolled along. And so I mean, spoilers for the trailer. Wow, what a bummer. But that's something that I carried everything with me that I've seen going into this trailer. And quite honestly, I have to say a lot of stuff didn't come off as immediately fresh to me, because we've seen teases of that. We've seen Rey. She's running through the jungle in this new trailer. Rey's always running. We've seen so many shots of Rey running. I can't believe what a workout Daisy Ridley has been getting. The cardiovascular is amazing. So she's running through this jungle forest environment, and we've seen that already. We saw that same environment when she was throwing the saber. What I thought was interesting about that shot is it looked like she dropped a Y-wing helmet as she took off running, or a B-wing helmet. It was one of those Rebel helmets. See, there it is. Jason has it on the screen. Here, right.
I got it.
Just had it.
Yeah.
And what kind of helmet is that? And what's she doing? She does the big jump over the chasm, and that's amazing. Oh no, okay. Everyone wants to talk about that scene where the Falcon drops into the shot. Everyone is just like peeing in their pants out of excitement because they see the ghost from Rebels there.
Oh, the ghost!
From Rebels. Oh my God!
My God! All right.
Okay, so here's what I'd like to see, that all the different medias are being tied in together in the Rise of Skywalker, but I'm certainly not at the edge of my seat looking for any more Rebels Easter eggs in the final episode of the Star Wars saga. So all right,
where's the ghost? Where is it? I've got the shot of the...
Ghost is to the right of the Falcon. Now, what
right
excited
here?
me the
most
from seeing that shot is the Falcon's got the good old rounded radar dish back in place. Classic Falcon. Look, it even looks a little bit bigger than the old one too. This a little bit bigger. Let them know you're coming. And then as you see right over the right shoulder of the Falcon, you see the ghost is there among the mixture of all those ships. I also heard someone say that if you look just immediately above that, you can see the Colossus from Star Wars Resistance. So, little Easter eggs like that are fun to throw in that tie together all the mediums. I think a lot of people get their hopes up when they see the ghost and they immediately think that Hera is going to be in this film, or Ezra, or one of them, Zeb. I don't know. But I really think that's really a little Easter egg like that is the only nod you're going to get. And it's nice. It ties all the different mediums together. But all I care about is that Millennium Falcon right there in the middle of the shot, baby. Woo! Woo! I don't care. You can put in any other ships from Star Wars, and the Falcon is got my attention 100% whenever that's on screen.
All right. Hey, thanks so much. Appreciate
guys.
Yeah. Did you got something else for us?
Just one more quick thing.
Yeah.
Yes, one more quick thing. This is Corey. I'm Scott's brother.
Who?
Scott's brother, Corey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're all hanging out talking about it.
Awesome. All right. Hey, Corey, what do you got for us?
Oh,
this is like a twofer.
The one thing I noticed was when Rey and Kylo were destroying that. It looks like a Darth Vader statue.
Yeah, that's what some people are saying, yeah.
Some people are even saying it's Vader's helmet, but it looks like the debris field is way too big for that to be a single headpiece. If you look at it, it looks like...
I noticed, though, is that it looks like Rey was holding two lightsabers, if you break it down.
Here we go. This is the stuff I like. All right, let's take a look. Swank.
Yes.
Pull it up.
Slowly go through it.
I got it. Boy, it is hard to see. Let's do it again here.
Let's take a close look at this.
I think that's an illusion. I see something right in her left hand. Looks like it could be a hilt or it's a piece of debris. Let me run it again. All right, let's look here.
It's a hilt, baby.
Yeah, she's got two lightsabers.
That's a freaking hilt.
She's holding Luke's. Luke's is ignited. The other one she has belongs to Leia. That's Leia's lightsaber.
Leia doesn't have a lightsaber.
Leia has a lightsaber. You'll find out.
Oh man, Corey's excited. Corey is excited. All right, I'm gonna leave it freeze framed right here. I think you can see two blades, and she's kind of got a reverse grip on the one blade. Maybe she learned from Ahsoka. See how she's got that reverse grip?
Hey,
ooh, Swank's even throwing in reverse grip. Corey, what do you think of that? That's good stuff.
It ties into the dark Rey. It looks like it can be connected with the dark Rey lightsaber.
Now, see, I believe that is a vision. The dark Rey is a vision, and it's not actually going to be reality.
Oh, she's a vision. Dark Rey is quite the vision.
All right.
You
old softy.
All right, Corey, Scott, thanks, guys. Appreciate much. We want to.
Everyone's yelling, "It's a dagger! It's a dagger!" It does look more like a blade than a lightsaber hilt. It's a dagger.
I keep showing people's private phone numbers here. Excuse me.
Oops. I have heard about rumors about a dagger being one of the MacGuffins in the film. You're putting everyone's phone numbers up there.
No, not now. I am. I got it right.
Well,
this time.
I guess I'm looking a little bit of a delay there. But the dagger. I've heard about the dagger. Yeah. Oh, zooming in, Swank doing some forensic work here. Yeah. This is like CSI.
Yeah. And for the record, Dave in the chat, I'm not scratching my butt, dude. What are you doing? This is no Easter eggs. Swank scratching his butt. Jeez. All right.
Just keep your pants on. That's all we ask. For the callers as well.
Yeah, right.
See, but just the mere notion that it could be happening. Jason, breaking news. There's a new poster. There is a new poster.
Wait a minute.
Stop the presses. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new poster. How do I get this to you so you can see it here?
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm at StarWars.com. Is it up there?
I don't know.
Theatrical poster. Here it is. I see it. All right. Let's get it up here for the.
Let's get up there
for our friends at home. All right. For our friends at home, here's what we got. All right. Check it out.
So, okay. There's Xana with the horse there at the bottom. And a lot of people are really nervous about having more space horses inserted into Star Wars after the experience with the Fathiers in Episode 8. So people are a little skittish about more space horses in Star Wars, but there it is. And it looks very traditional horse, more with like a whipped sort of face on it. We've seen this stuff before. Now look, there's Billy D. And you don't see his yellow shirt, and it looks like he's draped in his traditional Empire Strikes Back cape. I like that a lot. Who is the girl down there? Oh,
that's Rose.
Rose made it.
She did. Everyone can put the hashtag aside. We have found Rose. She's in the trailer. She's on the movie poster. Everybody just chillax.
She's got a blaster, so she's primed for action as long as she can stop crying long enough to point the blaster in the right direction. There's Zori Bliss looking badass as hell with 2 blasters.
Yeah.
We see the new TIE fighter up there. But again, a lot of this stuff is stuff we've already seen. There's really no big reveals in this new poster. We don't see Palpatine. We did get Palpatine in that other poster that they handed out over the summer at D23, but that was kind of like a cartoony Palpatine. I'd like to see a more accurate representation of what we see of Palpatine in The Rise of Skywalker. And we briefly see Palpatine from the side, from behind, sitting in his throne, addressing Rey in the trailer. That was a standout moment there for me. Yes.
No.
That is Palpatine. You can see his
Wait
cloak,
a minute.
and it almost looks like he's hooked up to some sort of life support mechanism.
Wait, I did not see this. I did not see this.
Man,
all right, hold on.
I'm telling you.
You're telling me that in the trailer.
Yes, toward the end.
Towards the end, when you see, hold on, I gotta find this because I was bummed that we didn't even see Palpatine.
All right, this just in: Broom Boy was a Palpatine clone. He raised the space horse he would later use for his Centaur bot. Or do I say that right? Centaur. How do you say that?
Centaur.
I don't.
Centaur. Oh, wait a minute. You're right. Okay, Centaur. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Lord 2 weeks.
All right, I'm seeing Palpatine. This is what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Right. Oh, look at him.
Long have I waited for this moment. Look at this. There's like some weird, like what are those?
These tubes or something.
What's this?
He's hooked up to something.
He's hooked up to something. It's going right into his brain. It's keeping his brains alive.
Wow.
And there he is, still looking sharp in my cloak. And then she's just like, "Oh God, it's Snoke again." No, that guy really ruined my reputation, man. He's ill.
He took all his good. He took all his good shtick. I mean, that's what he's going to be
that
thinking.
One where he whipped the saber and it smacked you in the back of the head. That was a good one. I'm a little jealous. Okay.
Oh, hey, you know what? We got to talk to Jane. Jane's calling all the way from Hawaii.
Oh, aloha and mahalo.
Yeah.
It's early there for her. It's still in the late afternoon. And how you doing?
Hey, Jane.
It's actually Game and
I'm picturing this beautiful Hawaiian girl, and we get you
with the coconut top and everything.
Oh man! All right, so who are we talking to?
He is wearing a grass skirt.
James without the S.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, how are you doing?
That's fine.
I'm doing great, guys. I'm so happy to be on. I'm a big fan of the show.
Thank you.
Your biggest fan in Hawaii, so of course I'm just bragging, but
No, appreciate that very much. So
we occasionally hear from people there in the islands, and you never know. I might come knocking at your door someday, looking for a place to crash for the next 6 months.
When are we going to get Celebration Honolulu? Can we get that going on?
Yeah. What are we waiting here for? That would thin the herd, at least.
Well, there's going to be kind of like a minor version of Celebration because there would be Lando himself who's coming to Hawaii in February for one of the big cons here. So I'm looking forward to that. So
what a sacrifice he's making.
Billy D's all about that one. Hey, that Hawaii convention? I'd really like to do that again.
Yeah, put me down for that one. All right, so what stuck out at you? All the way in Hawaii, what were your big takeaways? I gotta say, there's equal parts excitement and disappointment with this trailer that we're seeing, and I'm being peppered with texts from some of the negative ones. If there's time, we'll get to those. But we want to hear from you. What was the? How did it leave you feeling? More excited, less excited, or are you the same as going into it?
I'm actually more excited, even though that there was a lot going on in that trailer, and it's gonna take a lot of viewings to really decipher what's actually going on. So, but I'm actually very excited for it.
And was there something in the trailer that really spoke to you, or maybe answered some questions?
Well, my first impression, and I noticed that they really focused on the sequel trilogy characters, and I'm wondering, I'm wondering if that's intentional, and maybe there's some surprises they're going to have for us for, the legacy characters. What do you guys think about that?
I think the legacy characters were almost non-existent in this trailer. You got to see.
You hear Luke's voice. You see Leia.
About
briefly
seeing?
glimpse Lando.
Yeah.
Chewie, R2, 3PO. Let's not forget those cats.
Mm-hmm.
And Palpatine a little bit. And his presence is definitely. We see Palpatine's throne. Are they trying to Game of Thrones Star Wars style here? Right? Yeah, that's like Game of Thrones. It's like, they can have a throne. Star Wars.
The splintered remnants of the throne. Now that didn't look like the throne that we saw in Return of the Jedi, even with the battle damage. That looked different to me.
Oh, well, it had that whole back.
Yeah.
That evil backdrop.
Yeah, and I'm not convinced that this is.
That was very Game of Thrones-ish.
Yeah, I thought so, I'm not convinced that this wasn't Death Star 1 versus Death Star 2.
No, I think we're dealing with the Death Star 2 situation. I don't think the throne is part of the remains of the Death Star, either 1 or 2. I think that's just where Palpatine's been hanging. That's been his place.
The underwater, under ice.
Right. And he has Star Destroyers parked out there, and he has a stash of we're seeing Palpatine's contingency plan here.
He's got a stash? What is he, like a detective now?
Well, he has things. And you know what? This is a concept that actually goes back to Heir to the Empire, when they discovered that Palpatine in the Thrawn trilogy had these cloning tubes, and they were stashed in this mountain warehouse, and he had various places like that dotted around throughout the galaxy. And so it appears that this is where we find him, in one of his armories or, compounds, bunkers, whatever you want to call it. But and why is he there, though? Why hasn't he extended his evil influence throughout the galaxy for the time being? Well, he was kept alive artificially, and his skills with the dark side of the Force diminished. It isn't until darkness rises and light to meet it, and all of this stew comes together and provides Palps with whatever power he needs to become vital.
So we shouldn't assume that he had the ability to come out of hiding all this time. This is a key moment, and he talks about the two of them coming together. That is their undoing.
Right.
So the undoing is Kylo and Rey. So clearly, Rey is a character, a figure. Well, okay. What's another theory then? Give us your theory.
Because he doesn't exactly say Kylo and Rey, so
he doesn't. That's true.
Maybe there's a big surprise. There might be a big surprise waiting for us, and
what if he's talking about Luke and Leia?
It could be, yeah.
What if he's talking about being confronted by the two of them? Yeah, I don't think so, but it would be cool. All right, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate the call. Let's go. Where are we? Let's see. Oh, we got Cleveland. We got to bring Cleveland on the phone. This is Jesse from Cleveland? Hello?
Hello.
Oh, this is Adam. This is Adam. This is who's been peppering me with all of his negative texts. Bringing down the mood. Yes.
Bring down the movie.
Adam from Cleveland. Well,
it's not good.
Oh, okay. Well, let's. Some of the texts that I've been getting from Adam. I'm not impressed. I'm not happy. Yeah, if you want a negative perspective, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Remember
fine.
the time I told you that Luke was going to be weak in The Last Jedi?
Yeah, I remember. You ended up being pretty
here's my
damn
new
right about
prediction.
that.
This could be a good movie.
Uh-huh.
Because nothing in that trailer was impressive.
Oh. All right, so wait a minute. You're saying that compared to the trailers for Last Jedi, which got you very excited, this is less so. So you're thinking if Last Jedi was the opposite of all that excitement drummed up by the trailers, then this could be the same thing. And so, all right, okay.
Yeah, it could be good because
so the only way that this
calling in is very excited.
So for you, the only way that this can be good is if it's the opposite of what you saw in the trailers.
I did not say that. But this movie doesn't look... All right, here's a non-biased opinion. My wife, she said, hey, that doesn't look good.
Really? Well, how unbiased is it? Are you probably sitting there with a grumpy face the whole time watching it?
No.
Yeah. All right. Give us some substance. All right, Adam, give us some substance. What was it that you didn't see, or that you were hoping to see, or what did you see that you didn't like? Give us some instances here.
I hope to see a satisfactory conclusion to the last 9 movies in the Skywalker saga.
Uh-huh.
But none of which was presented in that trailer. That trailer, they sold the tickets earlier on purpose because they said, hey, go see this movie, and this is going to be a great movie, and we're going to end the Skywalker saga. But that's not what happened in that trailer.
All right, what happened in the trailer? What did happen in the trailer?
Nothing.
Ah, okay, so that's the problem.
I got to admit, I didn't have any oh my God moments at all in that trailer. I had one.
Right, there was no Lando, there was no Han.
In the D23 footage.
Yeah.
When they showed that glimpse of Darkside Rey. That was an oh my God moment. I did not have anything that could compare with that in this trailer.
But you hoped there would be a Kylo Ren with a blue lightsaber in this trailer, but there was nothing. There was no Palpatine, there was no Luke, there was no Han, there was no Chewie, we're home, there was nothing. There was no, oh my God, this is the movie everybody's been waiting for. That wasn't in this trailer at all.
Well, the 3PO thing, where it's like, I just want to look at my friends one last time. But they're playing
they
up
had R2-D2 in this trailer. Hey, that was good.
That was good. They had R2.
They
and he was
finally
shaking
had
around
R2-D2.
in the can like he should. He was shaking around. I love R2 shaking around like crazy. That's good R2. That's a lot of personality in R2.
Yeah, compared to the last couple movies where he was under a tarp, that was good R2.
Right, right.
The
And
point
he's
is,
not CG. He's not
All right,
CG.
but Adam, okay, let me just play devil's advocate with you for a little bit. How would they have done this without giving away the store? If this is the last 30% of the movie,
maybe show a shot of Luke, maybe show a shot of the Emperor. You know, you saw the throne and you saw Vader and you saw the statue. Oh my God! But maybe you actually see the Emperor sitting there because Ming never dies. Am I right, Paul?
Yeah, right.
That's
what Paul
right.
always
That's
said.
right, Adam. Cheers.
That's why Paul had always predicted that Palpatine was going to return in this trilogy, is because Ming never dies, and you have to bring back the big baddie. And I agree that his presence is the mere thing that helps tie it all up together, because in episode 1 he was the Phantom Menace, let's face it, and everything he orchestrated made the dominoes fall from that point forward up until episode 7.
But if they introduce the character again in this movie and then they immediately kill him off, what was the point of watching all these movies?
Well,
it's I could have just skipped 3 movies and then saw Palpatine die.
You hope they have something in there that makes it all worthwhile. That makes this whole sequel trilogy run pay off. That's what we need.
Jimmy.
We need the payoff. I know you're going to tell me that you lack any sort of optimism about this, but I'm thinking that there has to be some sort of payoff. You can't just show up.
That's good, but I'm sorry. I'm the one person that called in, and they're depressed because this movie doesn't look good. And I'm sorry, but it's very
Don't be
sad.
depressed. Hang with us. We're doing a big whoop-de-doo in Cleveland. Skywalker rises in Ohio.
Whoop-de-doo.
And you be there, and we will have a group hug. And
hey, I'm going to go to Galaxy's Edge this weekend, and it's going to be great.
Yes, it is. You're going to have a lot of fun. Go hit that bar and have some of their overpriced drinks. Knock yourself out.
Adam, are you going to be with us in Cleveland? Come on.
Yeah, I'm going to be there, but it's going to be the best time anybody's ever had, believe me.
Right. I'm not convinced. So don't tell Adam where we're going to see the movie because I don't want his bummer dude bringing everyone down.
Hey! Last time you said that, Han Solo died.
He's got a point. He's got a good point.
All right. Get it all out. What else? Let's help him. This is cathartic for Adam. What else you got?
The
One
last
more
time I said this, Han Solo died, and Luke was not an overpowered Jedi. He was a weak Jedi who had a force projection, which is not a thing. Anyway, good night. Rachel's mad. Everybody's got to go to sleep.
All right. Good night, Adam.
Wow. He came in with zero energy and fizzled out from that point forward. I mean, I don't even know how that's possible, but thank you, Adam. I hope I get to meet Adam in December as Skywalker rises in Ohio. Tickets are on sale now. Visit, where do you visit to get them?
Well, you just
did we just put it out on social media? There'll be a post on Rebel Force Radio.
You just go to playhousesquare.org. That's playhousesquare.org. Search for Rebel Force Radio, and you'll see the link right there to buy tickets. Couldn't be easier. And we also, if you go to Facebook, we have a post about this, and the first comment under there has a link if you need a hotel room. So actually, you know what? If you need a hotel room, you can just call the Crown Plaza Playhouse Square and see if there are any rooms left in the Rebel Force Radio block. We've got a block of rooms. It's a special rate just for Rebel Force Radio listeners and those attending the big event there on December 20th in Cleveland. And it's going to be an awesome time. Even if Adam shows up, it's still going to be good. I promise.
I don't know, man. He's packing a big old black cloud, man. So let's move on to someone.
All right, let's see. How about, do we go to another Ohio boy? Let's see. This is Gage. Gage is calling us from Ohio, from Maslin, it looks like, where Matt Lanter is from. Hey, Gage.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
All right. Hey, you got to bring us up, man. Adam was a real downer.
Yeah, I was listening to that.
We love Adam. We love Adam.
I'm actually from Hudson.
Oh, you're from where? Hudson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Great.
These cell phone towers, you don't know where
You don't know. You don't know. All we know is we're talking to Gage. All right, Gage, what's on your mind tonight about this trailer?
Well, the thing is, I think that, I don't know, I kind of joined the podcast a little late, but I don't know if anyone said this, but I think that the planet they are on is Endor in most of those shots.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well,
I hope you're...
Because, I mean, not all Endor has, I mean, it's there can be some Earth-like planets, not everything has to be one, trees or snow or oceans or, so, I think, Endor does have oceans, I think, right?
There's a shot right here, guys, I'm showing it on the screen right now, where this looked to me almost like the Ewok village. Did anyone get some Ewok vibes here?
Well, I'll tell you what would have really pushed this trailer over the top if they gave us a half-second glimpse of a couple of Ewoks hanging out. Now, that would have, that would have gotten everyone talking, quite honestly.
That would have made everyone happy.
Well, I don't know if it would have made everyone happy, but I think it would have gotten everyone talking. Because then you would see what our prior caller, Adam, was talking about. You would see there is legitimate glue holding together all three trilogies. That would have been nice to see some indication of that happening in this trailer, as we have been promised by JJ, by other creatives involved in this film, that it's going to cohesively bring all the trilogies together for a satisfying conclusion. But I saw no indication of anything that made me think of the prequel trilogy in this trailer. I saw nothing that gave me any indication that the original trilogy is going to be well represented in this trilogy. Now, obviously, the threads are all there. You can talk about Darth Vader all you want, but wouldn't it be great to see Hayden Christensen show up, or or Wedge? Wedge we know is going to be in this film. Just a quick glimpse of Wedge there. You might get people even talking. Not as much as an Ewok, though. An Ewok in this trailer would have gotten people talking.
Yeah, it really would have.
Interesting.
By the way,
a badass Ewok, the way that movie magic can bring something like that to life in the year 2019. Not just a bunch of roly-poly amusement park mascots running around in the forest, but I mean like something that's a real bear running around with a little bonnet on and causing all kind of mischief.
All right,
you can see like 2 seconds of that in the trailer, and I would have just been salivating.
This is very Endorish right here. I mean, I don't want to say, I agree with our caller here that just because you see a jungle planet, a forest planet, doesn't necessarily mean it's Endor. I mean, we saw that with Jakku and Tatooine, of course. But, man, this looks very Endor-like.
Yeah, or shades of Takadona or summer season on Starkiller Base. They're always fighting in the forest. That's what they do in fan films. Get out of the forest.
Oh, well, because it's one of the easiest environments. You're not going to go
now, listen, that doesn't look like the Redwoods to me.
No?
That looks just like, the Forest Preserve in Illinois. So I don't feel an exotic quality like Endor had. Endor with those giant redwoods, that was exotic.
Oh, I don't know. This looks
like Endor, the stuff you're
right here
flashing up on. Oh, that giant chasm, that looks like something out of Indiana Jones. That looks more jungle to me than the redwood forest of
really
Endor.
splitting hairs, Mac, tonight. You're really
you guys are bringing
up taking the hairs and you're just splitting them right there.
2 freaking months till the movie comes out. What else are we gonna do? Got to pick this stuff apart, man. I didn't sign up for just looking at stuff on surface value. I'm willing to explore anything and everything.
This just in, we got Kevin Lyle's review of the trailer. Our good buddy Kevin Lyle, who did the artwork for the aforementioned Skywalker Rises in Ohio event. Tickets on sale now. And Kevin's review, one of Jimmy's favorites, meh.
Oh, he just said meh. But, I mean, again, it wasn't a trailer you walked away from saying, oh, my God, did you see that? There's not a single moment where you do, oh, my God. There's lots of moments where you go, oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That looks badass. But there's no, oh, my God.
There's no OMG emoji-worthy clips in the trailer.
And the closest thing
I'm
I
with
could
you
think
on that.
of in Star Wars history to compare it to is the D23 teaser with Darkseid Rey. That was an oh my God moment.
Yeah.
No oh my God moment in this trailer.
I feel that this, I don't know, you may disagree, Gage. I feel that this trailer was a very, very safe bet for JJ and the creative team there, and I think they wanted to leave themselves lots of room to change things.
Yeah. How much of this trailer
really
is actually going to be in the movie? I'm sorry, bud, but I was just wanting to get out that.
No, you're fine.
How much of this trailer is going to end up in the final film? I mean, Lord knows we saw entire trailers for Rogue One that didn't have a single clip that ended up in the final film.
Oh, yeah.
The Force Awakens also. So maybe they are, like Jason said, playing it a little more safe here and not giving us those, oh, my God, did you see it moments? Because those, oh, my God, did you see that moment might not be in the final film.
Well, I mean, in the first teaser, you had Rey making that big backwards jump over the TIE fighter. In the second trailer, you had Darkseid Rey, the second glimpse, call it a trailer.
That big
sizzle
flip
reel.
she does wasn't an oh my god.
Well, but that's what it was supposed to be.
But
I don't even think there were moments in this trailer that were meant to be oh my god moments. That's the issue I have. It's not that we didn't feel it. It just wasn't set up for us. I don't think it was the intent.
So, yeah.
All right, Gage, thanks very much. Appreciate it. Let's go
What
to...
did I just say? Meh.
Yeah,
Meh.
I think you did. Let's go to Kelly in New York. Hello, Kelly.
Lots of cool stuff in this trailer, though.
Hello, Kelly.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Kelly, I'm actually in Los Angeles.
You're in Los Angeles. Well, all right. I'm just going to start saying. I'm just going to start saying the names here. The auto screener is all confused.
Drinking.
Apparently, says that you're in Monroe, New York. Just for the record, so you might have, who knows? Maybe someone's using your identity there in Monroe.
Yeah, but yeah, the trailer is pretty crazy.
Okay, all right. Well, what's crazy about it?
Okay, so there's that one scene with C-3PO.
Yes.
Saying goodbye to everyone.
Yeah.
And then in the corner of the shot, I think there's Zori Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
she's
wondering
definitely
how
there.
they're all connected.
All right, let's see. Let's see if we can see Zori here.
I think it's teased that Zori is an old contact of Poe's.
Oh yeah, here's Zori. Looking at
Yeah,
Zori
she's
right
definitely
here.
in that
Yeah.
sequence there off to the left of the shot.
Yeah.
And I think it is Zori who leads this crew to whoever that little droid guy is. He has a name. The name is leaked. I don't remember it.
Yeah, Bubba
It's like
Hotep or
Bubba-
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. No. That was no. His name is something like that, like little Bubka or whatever.
Yeah,
his name is.
this little guy here. He's working on 3PO's
Yeah,
circuits.
Yeah,
Look at
he
him.
can
Look at
do
him.
that work.
Yeah, destroying 3PO.
I like him.
I think his name's Ryan. This little guy.
No,
right
no.
here. His name- and 3PO represents all Star Wars fans, and this is little Ryan J. All right, maybe not. Okay, we're taking your valuable time. Sorry about that, Kelly. What? So you got the 3PO. What else stuck out at you?
The throne, seeing the Emperor, like hearing his voice, not seeing him.
Yeah.
I kind of thought his throne and then maybe like Snoke's throne and The Force Awakens were kind of similar, but I could be wrong. I haven't seen The Force Awakens in a while.
Ooh, I hear what you're saying. So we're looking at the throne right here, and it's really hard to make out. But yeah, there's definitely a similarity. And I thought that when we were looking at The Last Jedi for the first time, that there was a similar vibe between the thrones. But Jim, you pointed out that this isn't necessarily the throne room from Return of the Jedi and the Death Star 2. This could be where he's just hanging out.
Yeah, it could be some ancient Sith temple or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, wherever he's been hanging.
I mean, he had the same chair. He's really had the same chair since the
similar
prequels.
chair.
Though,
it
his
could
chair
all
in the
tie in.
prequels was the same.
Maybe the thing behind him isn't necessarily part of the throne itself, but just part of the debris of his throne room in the Death Star. We do see a shot of Kylo and Rey in the remains of the Emperor's throne room in the trailer. It's there because it's the environment, because the window, that wacky window he has, they're standing there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see the throne in that shot, but it appears they're standing right in front of that window where the throne would naturally be. So maybe, gosh, Boy, we're in a real sort of vortex of thought here as far as speculating for this film. And the more they feed us, the more confusing it gets. So hats off, JJ. You've opened your mystery box for sure. Because I'm at a point right now where I'm just absolutely tongue-tied as far as speculation goes and how these images tie into rumors we've heard or just natural progression of a story that we've been following for 40-something years. It's going to be a very interesting day in December when we sit down and watch this freaking film. And I hope it does present us with all kind of solid explanations. Solid explanations.
So, Kelly, what were you
all up? Solid.
What were you going into tonight hoping to see? And did this fulfill some of those wishes and some of those hopes?
Kitster is a wrong answer. I said Kitster and Anster.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get a better sense of the storyline. I didn't expect to, but was hoping to get a little bit more to go off of. I was hoping to possibly see the Emperor too, but also didn't think we would.
I thought we would.
Well, you do see him a little bit. You do see him a little bit as Rey's standing there at the end, and we've got the shot right here. So if you're watching, you can see the outline of his cloak, and as Jim said, he's hooked up to something that is somehow preserved his decrepit old bod.
That's just a guess.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that. And of course, he's well versed in life support technology, seeing he's the guy who funded the whole Vader armor thing.
And Grievous.
And, well, did he fund the Grievous?
He funded the Grievous.
Did he?
Did he? Well, yeah, he bankrolled the whole Grievous experiment.
Do we know that?
But I do love the idea that now he is sort of like potentially a Vader-like character. He's very judgy of Vader. He is always looking to convert Luke because Vader was damaged goods. So here he is. Now who's got all the tubes coming out of his head? Huh?
Things have gone full circle. Yeah, right. Maybe we'll even see Palpatine in the Bacta tank.
Oh, can you imagine?
Like a piece of 3-year-old beef jerky there in a jar.
Oh, hey Kelly, thanks very much for the call. Appreciate it. Hope that the film is one that hits you in all the right places. Even if the trailer wasn't, we've got Dan in Utah. Hello, Dan. Dan in Utah.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, Dan.
Doing all right.
Great. Hey, I just had a couple of thoughts about Palpatine in this trailer. So, we see the Star Destroyer coming up out of the ground, and it seems to me to be very symbolic of rising from the grave. And so it's like, is this symbolic of Palpatine rising from the grave and coming back? I do love his line that long have I waited. So it kind of says to me like, hey, look, this is something I've had in the works for a very long time. Much like him working with Anakin, working on Anakin. This is a plan that he's had in place for a very long time, and now he is about to unleash whatever this plan is. But anyway, I kind of want to get your thoughts on that.
All right, Jim. Palpatine is always in it for the long game. It seems like the long tail. He along with his Sith before him, waited and plotted and finally made their move, and it happened when he was the guy on top. So is this a continuation of that? Was he always thinking of this moment? Think about when he said everything is proceeding as I have foreseen in Return of the Jedi, we assume he's talking about, the very immediate present moment, but could it have been something longer that he was looking at?
Well, he does play the long game, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And the seeds he planted in episode 1 were 30 plus years prior to what we see in episode 4, which is probably fulfillment of his iron-fisted rule with the activation of the Death Star. And that was all he needed. But little did he know he would be toppled out of power a mere 3-4 years later. I don't think that was part of his plan. Not at all. Not at all. I'm going to build this planet-destroying weapon so I can rule for 3, maybe 4 years. No. That was not part of the plan. But I think he often would do things to nurture a plan B. A guy like that who is always thinking so many steps ahead. He has to be thinking about a contingency plan. And I think that's what we're going to learn about in episode 9, what his contingency plan actually was. And the way it would be most effective is if they found something in episode 1 to latch onto that comes into play in episode 9. Something Palpatine did as a senator. Is there anything you could think of that happened on screen or could potentially have happened off screen during episode 1? But it would only be truly fulfilling as if we had the evidence right there out in front of us the whole time. Not something we read about in a novel or a comic book or have to listen to JJ or Pablo explain to us on social media. Something legitimately that was part of early Palpatine's rise to power. I would love to find that. It could be the clone army. That could come into play. That was definitely part of his early plan. He had the wheels in motion for the clone army long before he had established himself as emperor, which was his end game, at least throughout the prequels. But I think Palpatine in the original trilogy, by the time we catch up to him, he's not thinking politics anymore. He's not thinking about consolidation of power because he's already done all of that. He's already toppled all of that. I think he's dealing on a higher level by the time we reach him and Return of the Jedi. So how does that come into play with the Palpatine and catch up with? Go ahead.
It's a good question, and let me ask this: what do you think his end game is? Right, like if this is something he's been waiting for a long time, what is that? Like, what does he really want? Unlimited power.
I think that's what we know he feeds off of the most. But yeah, you're right. You're thinking in lines of what I mean. It's beyond the physical realm what he's looking for. He's established his ultimate power on the galaxy, but how can he take it a step further and control the Force? I think he's led to believe he is in control of the Force by the time we catch up to him in Return of the Jedi. I think he believes he's fully he is the master of the Force because he's wiped out the Jedi. He's eliminated the light from the galaxy, so darkness prevails, throwing the Force out of balance. But to Sith, that's perfect. Sith don't think in terms of balance of the Force or anything like that. They think in terms of consolidation of power and getting more and more power. So where is Palpatine looking for a source of power by the time we catch up with him in episode 9?
Well, I mean,
I don't know. That's a very good question.
You know, one of the things that I was looking for in this trailer was a sense of continuity between what I was watching and the title of the movie. There was nothing in this movie that made me think Skywalker. There was no, other than a little bit of Luke voiceover, a little bit of Leia voiceover. Rise of Skywalker seems like a very disconnected title for the film that was presented in this trailer, at least for me. What do you think, Dan?
I absolutely agree, because that was one of my thoughts is where is Skywalker? If he's going to rise, where is he? And if the word or the name Skywalker means something, what does it mean? Because we got nothing out of that from this trailer.
That's right. No, there was nothing about Skywalker in this trailer. Anyway, appreciate the call. We've got a couple more callers here. We probably can. We got a lot of callers. They've been very patient. We'll try to get through a lot of these as quickly as we can. We'll try to get to your call. Right now, we got our old buddy Rich Brendel. Hey, Rich, you've been very patient, man. We appreciate it.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, how are you? Tell us what you thought of the trailer.
I loved it. I mean, I think that it's kind of like an onion. You have to like peel it apart, that kind of thing. With this, I don't think that they intended on revealing anything like that huge in it. Mm-hmm. I think it was just kind of something to kind of get wet our whistle a little bit more, get us a little bit more excited. But the more you like pause like the frames of it and stuff, like the more you get excited about it.
All right, well, give us two things.
C-3PO hit the field, so
3PO did, even though he was saying goodbye to these people that really aren't his friends.
Yeah, that kind of hit the field for me a little bit.
Okay, well, hey, you could take it. You could take it like, yeah. I mean, you could interpret it like he's almost saying goodbye to us.
R2.
And R2 and Chewie.
And Chewie. Friends. Multiple friends.
Yeah. But the thing that really hit me was the throne. And my buddy Bo Sanders actually posted, I posted a picture of it on my Facebook, and he posted a picture of the concept art for Palpatine's throne. And that one where the claw, looks like there's claws coming out of it and stuff, that's like identical to the concept art.
That's ringing a distant bell. Yeah. That's sounding very familiar to me. So a Ralph McQuarrie concept throne that may have...
yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's cool. Okay, so 3PO hitting you in the feels. You got the McQuarrie vibe coming in the concept throne. Anything else?
Yeah, okay, so Jimmy's going to hate me for this, but I still like Mortis.
I already hate you because you're from Wisconsin. But no, okay, Mortis. You're bringing Mortis into this. You're gonna further complicate wrapping up 9 films of this saga by bringing in Mortis. So please tell me what kind of cohesive and easy to understand way is Mortis going to come into play? Maybe that dagger.
So that one
somebody said that dagger is from Mortis. Yeah, go on.
You
the
see
ice.
Like that one area where the TIE fighters are flying into that area that was like it was like this structure of ice within space, but it almost kind of looked like a portal.
Oh, stop with the portal. Come on.
It kind of looked like it.
All right, Rich, where's this portal?
That was my first reaction.
Portals. That's not going to happen.
That's it.
Not going to happen. If it happens,
but that's
I'll eat my shoe.
How can a structure like that?
Where's this portal?
I almost want to see that. Then we'll be there in Ohio. Sean
Yes,
and I and Chase and everybody. We'll all be there in Ohio. We got our tickets. So
thank you very much.
We'll be there to watch you eat your shoe.
Well, it wouldn't be a new Star Wars movie without you guys, and we're really, really excited that you're going to be there. So, Skywalker Rises in Ohio. Tickets on sale now. Just go over to playhouseSquare.org and pick them up. And if you need a hotel room, we got some for you right across the street at the Crown Plaza. Right there in downtown Cleveland, right across the street from the theater. It's so convenient. And just give them a call over there and mention that you're with Rebel Force Radio, and they'll hook you up if there are rooms left in our block. And look, we know. Look, it's 5 days before Christmas. That is a big deal. But you know what? It's the end of an era. It's the end of the Skywalker saga. We're just asking for a couple hours from you. So, make the journey over and hang out with us. And for those of you that are doing that, and like you, Rich, that are taking some time away from the family during the holidays, we appreciate that. That shows you what Star Wars shows us what Star Wars means to you. And this isn't really goodbye. Yeah. This is, I mean, look, we've got so much to look forward to. Even before this movie comes out, we haven't even talked about The Mandalorian, Rebel Force Radio. We've got big plans for that show that we'll be announcing soon. So, I mean, gosh, that's just, 3 weeks away? 2 weeks away? It's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's not all about this trailer and what was there and what wasn't. Rich is going to be with us for Skywalker Rises in Ohio. Rich, thanks as always for calling. You know, it wouldn't be Rebel Force Radio Live if we didn't hear from Eric all the way from Phoenix. So he's been waiting. He's been very patient. Eric from Phoenix, hello.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Going great. All right, help us make sense of some of this. We've got very, very split opinions.
Yeah, so I don't know that I'm going to help you make sense of it, but I've got 4 thoughts on the trailer, and I'm just going to rattle them. Are you guys okay if I just rattle them off?
Rattle them off. Go for it. This is rapid fire. This is the lightning round. Let's go.
Okay, rapid fire. Mm-hmm. Number 1, this comes from my almost 13-year-old daughter, Emily, who is watching on YouTube right now as we speak.
Hi, Emily.
Her comment was, Dad, I'm so sad. Is C-3PO going to die? And my comment is, there is no way that J.J. Abrams is putting that in the trailer to give away that C-3PO is dying. So I told her, I said, don't worry, sweetie. He's not dying. They're not going to give that away in the trailer. Number 2, B-Wings. For the love of all that is good and holy, there was a B-Wing in that trailer. I grew up,
a Y-Wing.
You know, just like you, Jimmy Mack.
Yeah.
B-Wings have been all over the artwork. They were, when we were kids, they were on a lot of the toy displays and different things.
That's right.
And in Return of the Jedi, you get like 2 seconds of them. You never get to see them do anything cool. All the posters show them blowing things up. I'm crossing my fingers. Maybe we'll actually see them blow something up in this movie. Because like in the X-Wing games, they're phenomenal ships. So it's cool to see them.
Yeah,
You're
right. They've been very underutilized. Very underutilized. And if number three is about portals... We're going to end this call.
No.
Portals and Mortis?
There will be no portals because it's too complicated and the average person wouldn't get it. Number 3, the Emperor. We got a bunch of new voice lines.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing you guys, I'm sure, noticed is that scene where we quote-unquote see the Emperor. Well, if that's the Emperor, why wouldn't they show him? That's not the Emperor. We don't know. JJ and all these trailers, for the most part, if you go and watch, the voiceovers don't match the scenes. They're not people from the scenes talking.
Yeah.
They're voiceovers from who knows what scene mixed together. He's got this thing all puzzled out. So that thing there that looks like the Emperor, it could be him, but we don't know who that even is sitting there. We don't know who's Rey's talking to. There's the Emperor line over it, but we really don't know. And the 4th thing and final thing, and you guys have hit on this trailer, much like all the other trailers we've seen for this movie, for the most part, have shown us nothing.
Nada.
And that's all intentional. I know you got your buddy in Cleveland that's, Debbie Downer on this whole thing, but they've shown us nothing on purpose because they don't, JJ, and I give him credit, he doesn't want to spoil things for the movie. This is the last one. They want us to go to the theater on the 19th. They want us to see it real the first time. They don't want these trailers to spoil key things. That's why if you look at it, every shot for the most part that they've shown, it's like filler stuff. It's stuff when they're transitioning from scenes or they're doing something. You're not seeing any major anything. I mean, what's this movie even about? Can you even tell?
No.
I mean, you really can't.
You're absolutely right.
That's all. I mean, you can't tell. I don't have a clue what this movie is really about, and that's intentional. And I'm okay with that. Because I've got faith in JJ that it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have a ball on the 19th. So there you go. There's my 4 points.
Oh, those are excellent and very succinct, and we appreciate that. Eric, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it, as always.
Can I thank a couple of people here? We got
Please do.
$3 from Night War, who asks, are you guys from Cleveland? No, the good-looking guys from Chicago. The other guys from Cleveland.
We'll leave it up to your imagination as to which is which.
TCS, well, you know who's from Chicago is me. TCS 4th gave us $2. Says, Test, I tried to throw out a good question, but I don't know how to answer that.
Is that his question?
It says hit you on Twitter anyways. Well, a lot of people hit us on Twitter, like with all kind of like blunt weaponry. So we'll be looking for you. But but thank you guys. Thank you so much for your support. We'll be doing more of this kind of thing. This probably give you a little taste as to what the RFR Mandalorian after show is going to be all about. So you'll definitely want to stay tuned to RFR on YouTube and Facebook to be involved with more live shows, after shows coming when the Mandalorian launches in, like Jason said, just a mere few weeks. Big Honkin' Steve tried to call in.
He did?
Yeah, I'm just getting wind of it now.
Oh, we got to give him the we have a special line for guys like Steve. Did you know that?
Oh, we have the special line.
We have a number that jumps him to the head of the line. I gave it to Cleveland Chris, and he never called. Never called. Well, Steve would have called, unlike Chris.
Steve, well, I think Steve was doing a live stream himself.
He was.
As every other YouTuber and Star Wars podcaster we're doing tonight. So with that knowledge, I just want to thank the great audience we've had tonight here. You guys chose to spend your post-trailer reaction time with us, and we greatly appreciate it. And you pointed out a few things to us we certainly didn't see in our massive 2 viewings of it. I don't know if Jason even saw it more than once.
I know I saw it twice. Definitely saw it twice. I was watching it with the first time with my wife and my daughter, and my daughter got really excited. She anytime she sees new Rey stuff, she gets very excited. And my wife goes, "Oh, that looks really good." But they kept looking at me like they wanted to react to my reaction. I wasn't really giving them much because there wasn't a whole. I kept waiting for like the big moment to happen, some big moment, you know. And it just, then there's like the anxiety of knowing that the clock's ticking. I haven't had the moment yet. And it's over.
Yeah. I thought we were inching towards it when they were in that white Imperial hallway and they busted up that statue or bust or whatever it is. People are claiming it's Vader's burnt up helmet. Again, I think the debris field is way too large to be just that simple helmet. But hey, you never know. Star Wars physics are definitely different than ours. So, and I suck in both universe at physics. So, my college instructors did not care much for my presence at all. But a lot of people are saying a lot of stuff. I saw something very interesting. Fardog says there's a battle droid at 119 into the trailer, just to the right of 3PO. You're going to spot a battle droid.
Droids. We could do better than this. All right. We're at 119. Can we spot the battle droid?
Let's try it. Here.
All right.
On RFR Live on YouTube. We'll see if
he said over to the. Droid. Did he give a direction? The left, the right?
So to the right of 3PO. There's a battle droid. Do we see a battle droid?
Okay, wait a minute.
Wait. Oh, who's this guy?
Right here? There. Is that like a droopy face?
Wait, is over the shoulder. Can you zoom in on that again?
I'm trying to zoom in some more. Whoops. I'm thinking right here. It's not showing.
There.
Yeah, is that it right there? Look at him. He'd be nodding his head. Yeah, it's a battle droid. I'm a battle droid. Roger.
That's a battle droid.
I don't know.
Well, they go to see this little dude, and he is a droid smith. And so he will be responsible for potentially wiping 3PO's memory completely. But, R2 will have a backup of that packed away in his hard drive, and he'll give it back to 3PO at the very end of the film, right before 3PO turns to the dark side and becomes the new emperor.
Oh, the red eyes.
He's gonna become the emperor. He's like, hey, not only organics can be Sith. Look at me. It's gonna be me. My apprentice is a pencil sharpener. I'm gonna overthrow the galaxy. And then all of a sudden R2 comes up and saves the day. And, he plugs into 3PO and that'll be it. I'm sorry if that was a spoiler for everyone. It was for me.
At the end of the day, for me, I'm just as excited as I was to see the movie. I wish that this would have shown us more. We've got a lot of people in the chat saying things like, "Look, guys, this is they're not going to give away the movie in the trailer, and we don't want that to
those
happen."
kind of spoilers, but just a little. Oh my God, did you see that? Just 2 seconds of something like that. Is that's what difference does it make if you tip your hat to one of those moments in a film that I think should have a bajillion of those moments. Give us one of them, just a little taste of what one of them possibly could be. But I want to see oh my God moments every 5 minutes of this film if it truly is wrapping up the 9-episode saga, the Skywalker saga. I want a ton of oh my God moments in this movie.
Yeah.
And the trailer could have given us one out of a ton.
I agree. It would have been nice to have a little bit of a, how the trailers do those little stingers where you think the trailer is over and then they come back and they give you that little stinger. I would have loved to have seen something like that, maybe even seeing Palpatine or a force projection of Luke. I got to tell you, this trailer hasn't done much to dissuade me from the notion that Luke Skywalker is the most underserved character of this trilogy. Continues to be so. Prove me wrong on December 19th, J.J. Abrams.
They love to tell you it's not his story. It's not his story to tell anymore. It's not his, but I mean, everything in the prequels set up Luke Skywalker. I think everything in the sequels should support Luke Skywalker. But that's just me.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. Well, we're going to wrap things up. Thank you all so much, and apologies to those that didn't get through. We've still got the Switch. We could sit here all night, and we would love to, but the reality is we got to wrap it up. We'll see you next time here on Rebel Force Radio. What do I do now? I show the theme. What do I do? No theme tonight. No theme.
We'll be back
tonight.
Next week. With an all-new show a week from this Saturday. So watch for that to hit. You'll get it sooner if you're a member of RFR on Patreon. So be sure to join us at RFR on Patreon. Like and review us on iTunes. Just remember... Come on, Jason, this is your chance.
Just make it good?
Just remember... Make it good. But you didn't do it with...
I don't know. It's not my line. It's not my line. I was getting ready to plug Skywalker Rises in Ohio. We've got limited tickets left, so if you're available December 20th, we would love to have you. Kennedy's Theater at Playhouse Square, downtown Cleveland. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be like this, but live in a theater with your initial reactions, our initial reactions after we've seen not just the trailer, the movie. We're going to have seen the movie the night before, and we're going to bring all of those observations and analysis to you in this incredible live podcast to be recorded and broadcast from Kennedy's Playhouse Square, December 20th, 2019. Like I say, tickets available now. So thank you all so much. We'll see you next time for Rebel Force Radio. I'm Jason.
I'm Jimmy Mack.
And remember,
the Force will be with you, always.